Rev up your engines!
Christian Torres says, Scotty, how do you feel about Volvo bringing cars from China to the U.S.? The Volvo S90 and S60 sold in the U.S. market are made in China. I think it's ridiculous. Are the quality worse than the Swedish-built Volvo? Well, Volvo's been a problem company for years. I mean, Ford had affiliations. They originally made really solid cars. They've had problems over the years. If they're building them in China, here's the thing. The Chinese newer cars, they're built in almost totally automated factories. I know a guy who runs one over there, and he said their main problem is the labor costs, because since the machines make most of the stuff, the guys that are there are engineers and have to be able to fix the computer robots that build them, because they run them 365 days, 24 hours. They have a pretty high labor cost. There's less people to pay, but they have to be engineers. So they might not be badly made, but I can guarantee you the future is going that way unless people put import taxes or something on them, because it's so much cheaper to make them in China that everybody's going that way. They used to move in Mexico and they did have quality problems there, but from what I read about the newer Chinese factories that make cars, they're pretty high tech. Arotis Reyes says, Scotty, is a 2011 Nissan Cube standard transmission a good car? Found one for sale with 110,000 miles for $3,500. I'm not a Nissan fan by any stretch of the imagination anymore since Renault took over. For that price, and it's a standard transmission because they have crappy automatic transmission, could be a decent vehicle. Even then, still, do like I say, have a mechanic check it out. Because once we hook up our scan tools like this, hey, we can find if there's any serious problems with the vehicle. And hey, it could last a long time. You know, if you don't mind the looks, obviously you're looking at it, you don't mind the look. I think those Cubes are just bizarre looking vehicles. But hey, to each his own. If you like it and the mechanic says it's good, what the heck? Why not? Because it's a standard transmission. Mike Alejo, Scotty, what's your take if I restored a Toyota FJ40 Land Cruiser? Well, yeah, those things could run forever and people love them. You can always sell them on. People like driving those things around. Just if you don't mind having a vehicle that is an absolute gas hogs, those things in town. I had a customer who only got like 7 miles a gallon in it. So if you don't mind crappy gas mileage, those things are great vehicles, and there's always people looking for them worldwide. If you did a real restoration and got it to look like OEM factory, some guy in Saudi Arabia might want to buy it. Who knows? They don't care about the price of gas there. Monthly Fortnite content says, Scotty, out of all the American car companies, which one would you choose? Just asking for maybe another option besides Toyota, because maybe you're being paid by them. Well, I'm not being paid by them, and if you watched the video the other day, I said that Honda makes better engines than Toyota, so, you know, I'm not getting paid by anybody. Like I said, I'm giving my 50 years experience of cars to tell you what to buy. If you did want to buy an American car, go Ford. They're better than all the others by Ford. Ford and GM used to be, you know, neck and neck, but GM quality's gone, and Chrysler was always crap, and then Fiat bought them. It's like the merger of two bad companies, sort of like when Sears and Kmart merged. Two bad companies merged, and good things don't come out of it. But the Ford, you can get a decent Ford. Still, their vehicles are pretty good. Captain Cowboy says, Scotty, what do you think of the 85 Chevy Corvette with a manual transmission? I'm considering buying one in the near future. Yeah, with a manual transmission, those things can be fun. And you want to research your model, though, because each model has values radically different than others, but always research different year Corvettes and what they go for and how rare they are before you plunk out any money. Now, since it's so old, you can't check them with computers, but I would still advise having a mechanic check it out first, just to drive it around, bring his gauges, and check out a few things so you're not getting ripped off. Unless you're buying one really cheap and you're going to fix it up. Jorge Osorio says, Scotty, what do you think of the new Alfa Romeos like the Quadrifoglio? Well, they're typical Italian, especially typical Alfa Romeo. They put technology in those things. They put a lot of horsepower. Man, they're fun to drive. But they break all the time. They're always breaking. They have no resale value, and they're way overpriced. I was watching Top Gear guys, the old ones. I only like the old guys. The new one's garbage, but the old guys were really funny. They had the Italian Alfa Romeo, and the one guy said, hey, I'd rather get the Mazda Miata. It's more fun to drive, and, you know, you can buy 3 of them for the price of one of the Alfa Romeos, and it's going to outlast them and never break down. You know, if you got a lot of money and want a fancy sports car to zip around, then go ahead and get one. They're fun, but you lose your money and they fall apart and cost a fortune to fix. And here in the United States, hardly anybody knows how to work on Alfa Romeos too. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.